What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Alright, this story's called Lady Mistakes My Family for Drug Dealers. I was 13. Aha! My first time posting to Reddit, so bear with me if I'm doing something stupid. As for the subreddit, this is technically I don't work here since drug dealing is work for some people? That's enough chit-chat, just take this story. The summer I was 13, my brother and I flew all the way across the country to visit my dad, and never did I expect to run into an accusing lady such as this one. We'll call her Lady for simplicity's sake. My dad will be dad, my brother will be my brother, and I'll be me. A detail that will be relevant later on, the flight was on the cheap side, which meant we were only allowed one bag of luggage, and that meant packing our backpacks till the zippers popped. Irrelevant, picky me decided that 2 full sets of clothing wasn't enough, and so I brought my entire computer, mouse, and a heck ton of instant noodles. My bag was more explosive than an atom bomb. We were nearing the end of our trip to Dad's city, so we had to return to the bigger city that contained the airport that'd bring us home. Dad had previously decided that it would be nice to visit a couple of tourist sites, since we were there, so we booked ourselves into an Airbnb, and as cheap stuff go, there was no Wi-Fi. Being the internet-obsessed kids we are, my brother, 17 at the time, and I convinced Dad to bring us to the local library, which had free Wi-Fi. Another suffering point for Airbnbs is that extra theft precautions have to be taken, so we lugged our huge, heavy packed bags and our car along to the library with us. At this point, we were desperate to answer the callings of social media, so we plopped down in chairs and were fixated on the screens within a minute of entering the building, and there we stayed for the rest of the afternoon. Little did we know there was someone watching us. Dun dun dun! We finally exited the library and piled into the car to go somewhere. Forgot where. Dad and my brother took the front seat. I sat in the back with the 3 backpacks. We drove a mile before stopping in an unpopulated road between 2 apartments to look at the map. Take note that the place we stopped was relatively shady. The ground was made of packed mud and there were no cars in motion, just a bunch of parked ones by the side. Here's when the story gets good. A silver car pulled up and stopped right beside us. The lady in it, middle-aged, your typical entitled lady, beckoned with some frantic movement of her hands for Dad to open his window. Dad did as told, and Lady started yelling. Went something like this. Hi.
Hey, you better stop running from me and listen. I know what you're doing. You ran from me as soon as you saw me. That's what you did. You ran from me. That's what you did. I better advise you to stop running. I've called the police and they're headed here right now.
Huh? He has the ultimate expression of confusion and disbelief on his face. He wasn't even running. He had stopped. Ha! Lady, in complete ignorance of my brother and 13-year-old kid, me, in the back.
You know exactly what you were doing. What were you thinking? Selling drugs in that building? Well, I should let you know that you were caught. You got in that car as soon as you saw me, trying to get away. I see.
What? No, we were not.
I know what you are hiding in those bags. Well, you should know who I am.
At this moment, my brother decides to yell, "Do you have a warrant?" All in good fun, because the situation is super. I can't believe this is happening right now. Oh right, about me. My heart's pounding crazy because I'm confused, a really shy kid, and confrontation, even if it's not directed at me, and even if I'm sure we're not guilty, gets me right in the nerves. Lady ignores my brother and keeps yelling,
You should know who I am. You are breaking the law and you will be punished for it.
"Well, who are you then?" And then she literally says this.
You'll find out soon enough.
And she drives away. If it were a cartoon, she'd be kicking up a ton of dust and disappearing in a cloud, leaving us coughing and spitting like the villains we are. Right. We weren't drug dealers, of course, but 2 kids and a dad staring at their electronics, guarding 3 really packed bags in the center of our circle formation in the library without picking up a book did seem kinda sketchy when you really thought about it. But, reflecting on the situation, this lady just jumped to conclusions too fast and chewed us all out for a crime we didn't commit. accusing us of working as drug dealers and mysteriously hinting that she was a police officer herself by repetitively saying, "You should know who I am," freaking 13-year-old me out. In addition, I forgot to mention this point the time I wrote this story. Thanks, Reddit commenters. If you think you're facing a drug dealer, you should never engage, especially if you're going to threaten them with police. We weren't drug dealers, of course, but the point is that if she keeps doing this, one of the shady people are bound to turn out to be real dangerous people. And as much as you hate stories without follow-up, I'm sad and happy to say there's no conclusion to this. No police came, and we went to the library the day after. Just wanted to share that lesson. If it isn't common sense already, and if that lady reads this, please don't follow and yell at who you think is a drug dealer. People are dangerous. Honestly, this is very true. In my teenage natively, I used to itch for a street fight, you know? If I saw evildoers out and about in the public, I would bring them to justice. That's how any kid thinks, really, honestly. And I like to think that I'm a somewhat competent fighter, not gonna say that I'm like some freaking martial arts master, but I know my way around both ends of a punch. Anyways, you know, I thought street fights are cool, you know, you either get knocked out or you look like a badass, right? Well, yes, kind of, but that's also very wrong because usually people who are willing to get into fights on the street are not people you want to get into fights with on the street, because those people have probably been in fights on the street. Now you're thinking, now, Zach, where are you going with this? Get to the freaking point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and other, my point is, those people, they're gonna be ready for that sort of thing, and they're gonna come prepared. No one's gonna shoot you on the street, Zach. Well, first of all, that's wrong and incorrect and stupid and just dumb. You will get shots, and also, you'll also get a knife in the stomach. And I'm not even joking. Anyone who lives in an urban area can 100% back me up here. When I went on my little thing to New York, I was with my cousin. And let me tell you, this kid, he loves to think of himself as some badass warrior of the fist, okay? He's been trained in a lot of different martial arts, and so he knows some kill moves and some permanently damage a body move. And even he doesn't want to get in a freaking street fight or fight someone from school. Not for fear, but because he knows you'll get a knife in the gut. This story's called, Today I Fudged Up by Going to the Bathroom in a Bag. I'm a 30-year-old man living on the West Coast with my wife in a high-rise style apartment, one bathroom. We have typical Monday through Friday work schedules. Long story short, a couple months ago I made some changes to my diet or routine that had the unintended side effect of me taking the biggest craps I've ever seen in my life. My toilet fought valiantly but was overrun by the end of the week. In an effort to not force the maintenance guy to fight with my poop-filled stink chair, I went and bought a plunger from Walmart and tried to handle it myself. After 30 minutes or so of attacking the clog with what was essentially a toy plunger, I admitted defeat and called maintenance. Maintenance is a guy about my age who is always helpful and professional. He glances at my toy plunger in the corner as he unplugs the toilet in about 30 seconds. I felt pretty inadequate.
I curse that stupid plunger and throw it in the garbage. Stupid, useless piece of filth.
Then I cleaned up before my wife comes home, and it's like nothing ever happened. Except something isn't quite right. The toilet flushes, but it's pathetic glug glug glug. I'll figure it out tomorrow. The next morning, I wake up with stomach cramps. I can tell it's gonna be a monster. It feels like an eternity before my wife finishes getting ready and leaves. I remember that my toilet was wounded in battle as I plopped down, but I have no choice. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but let's say I had to inch forward on the seat to pinch this door snake off. It's coming out of the water, breached. I know I'm completely screwed. I sigh and flush the toilet, but it doesn't even budge. Water starts coming up. I panic, but thank God it stops right at the rim like an infinity toilet. I shower while I contemplate my fate. When I get out, the water has receded, leaving the bowl almost empty. So now it looks like someone threw a French baguette into one of those funnels that collects coins for charity. I'm freaking mortified. This is unplungeable with this massive turd in it. I'm not going to go too much into the thoughts that enter one's mind during the 5-minute mental debacle that precedes scooping poop out of a toilet, or the shame that one feels walking down the hallway to the trash chute with a bag of your own poop. But that's what happened. Maintenance returns, but it's not so easy this time. Eventually he clears it, then I hear that same pathetic glug glug glug. I try to tell him something isn't right. He listens politely, but I can tell he is so freaking done with my crap right now. How do you say there is no way that toilet can handle what I have in store for it without looking like a freaking lunatic? So at this point, I'm basically afraid to use my toilet to take a crap. I don't think I have enough self-esteem left in the tank to survive having to scoop again. Not crapping at home is no big deal though, really. I started pooping at work, and on the weekends, there is a small private bathroom down a hallway from the gym in our building. It's not the gym bathrooms, don't worry. It's like an extra staff or handicap bathroom that nobody uses, both of which have toilets that could flush a tractor trailer. That's not really true. I've clogged each one twice the past 2 months. At work, there are enough people that the guilt is adequately diffused. Hey, it could be anyone. But I've been sneaking in and out of the bathroom in my building like a freaking poo criminal for a month now. Along comes Modelo virus, and all these rubes are buying all the toilet paper, and my wife is like, "Hey, poop man," that's me, "do we need toilet paper?" And I'm laughing to myself because I don't need any toilet paper. Hardy har, big brain, so funny. Honey, I'll take care of it. Fast forward 2 weeks and I'm ordered to work from home. I'm pretty happy about this, and the email from my building saying they'll be closing the amenities, gym, lounge, is of little concern to me. Who works out? Until yesterday morning when I discovered they locked my poop sanctuary. Well, I'm not goddamn laughing anymore, and it was an emergency. No lighthouse in a storm. I'm initially so furious. I consider going to the front office. How could they do this to me? But I realize how unstable that would look, plus it'd make it pretty clear who left the bear turds in there last month. I could drive to Starbucks, but there's no time. My water's breaking. I basically run upstairs to my apartment, and then I poop in a bag. That's right. I managed to pee in the toilet first, and then I squat down and poop into a plastic garbage bag. My dog sits and watches, freaking stunned. Screw me. I tie it off and double bag it as fast as I can because by God, it freaking stinks! The water part of the toilet must be absolutely essential because this was foul as heck. No time to wipe, I think. I must purge my home of this horrific stench. I'm power walking down the hallway to the trash room when I hear someone's door handle jiggle and I break into a jog. Only 50 feet now. No reason to risk it. I go full sprint, crappy butthole and all. I sort of laughed myself a little bit, relieved as I get to the door. This whole crap debacle is almost over. I open the door, walk to the chute, press the button, and turn it's locked. I look around and notice all the bags of trash against the wall. Ugh! Bad luck. But no big deal because there's a stairway, never used, that goes right down to the dumpster compactor. I'm halfway to the hallway door when it swings open. It's both maintenance men. This isn't happening. Now, recall, I just sprinted down the hallway. Who works out hard? Ingdar! So I'm dripping with sweat, out of breath, and between my unwiped, sweaty ass and the bag of poop I'm holding in this tiny, hot-ass room filled with garbage, freaking A. Hey man, sorry, there's something wrong with the compactor. They are here to collect the trash. No, he says. I'll take that for you. And he reaches out for my poop bag. My brain freaking breaks. I have no reasonable explanation for what I did next. Red as a beet, with sweat dripping from my nose, I quickly pulled the bag back away from him and started backing toward the door, wide-eyed, mouth agape. As you can imagine, he is somewhat shocked by this freaking bizarre behavior and sort of stammers out something about how it's no problem, he'll put it in the dumpster, and starts coming for my poop bag again. Now I'm really panicking. I just want to run. I have to think of something, say something, anything! So I said, "It's not garbage." I'm a freaking idiot, people. It's not garbage? What the f am I doing? Obviously, he's perplexed by this since we are standing in the trash room and I'm holding a trash bag. I just turn and walk toward the door. Right as I get there, he says, in a really concerned, bewildered voice, "What is it?" And I say, "Don't worry about it," as I walk through the door. Don't worry about it? Wow, folks, I am the dumbest person alive. I could cry. Defeated doesn't do justice to how it feels to sit in your apartment alone with a poop bag sitting in the bathtub reliving that interaction while you wait to be able to sneak to the dumpster. Well, I managed to dispose of my stinky little secret before my wife got home, but I suppose I spent so much time sitting around in my own filth that I went a little noseblind, because the minute my wife got home and went into the bathroom hours later, she says, "Poop man, what's that smell?" Oh, I don't know. I smelled it earlier today too. Brilliant. Yes, that damned smell. It was bothering me too, so it couldn't have been me, you see? Beautiful wife says. Oh, really? That's not good. Do you think it could be the toilet? No, I'm sure it'll just go away. Where is this going?
Have you noticed it doesn't flush right?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna put in a maintenance request.
She says it's a good time to have them come because I'm home from work to explain the problem. So here I am. It's about 11 a.m. The maintenance guy should be here any minute. I just can't even believe this is happening. I've tried telling myself that they probably didn't even notice or remember our interaction, that they don't care, just another day at work for them. It's all just in my head. On the other hand, I imagine them piecing it all together, connecting all the clogs and odd behavior, reviewing the gym cameras to see me sneaking in and out of the bathroom for months, talking to the janitor about the concerning size of the log she's been finding, and she's such a sweet lady. I owe her an apology. I thought about leaving money in the bathroom. What's wrong with me? I feel like some sort of poop villain. A couple of minutes ago, I actually entertained the idea of conspicuously packing something into a garbage bag while he's here, like that's something that I just freaking normally do. That makes sense because I'm a freaking donut. Last night, while I was lying in bed, I started thinking about embracing the role of the poop bandit or villain and pooping all over in malls and opera houses and such. Like when you see a poop in the urinal at a stadium. What? I can't. Maybe that's the real me. I've lost my goddamn mind. Screw Modelo virus. This isn't really COVID's fault though. We all know that because I pooped in a bag. I'll update this post if I get evicted. No updates, so they must be fine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.